Hello and welcome to Ukraine Today. We're here in the western Ukrainian city of Chernivtsi for the Meridian Czernowitz 2015 Poetry Festival. Joining me today is a very special guest. It's Ilma Rakusa, a Swiss writer. Ilma, many thanks for coming to speak with us.
Thank you.
We're here, it's the third day of the festival. Things are sort of coming to a close. What have been your impressions over the last couple of days, and how's the festival been for you?
Fantastic if you look at these numbers, the crowd and young people, everything listening to long poetry readings. And I think this festival is very important. It takes place here. It's a very special place with a long history. And I think it's a very open festival. So it's really trying to attract people from abroad as well as young people, writers from Ukraine, and connect them and create dialogues. So I think that's very important, and I hope the festival will continue.
As someone who writes in German, you must find it pleasing to come to Ukraine, but be able to deliver your works in German.
Yes, it's quite alive. Yeah, in Western Ukraine, there are many students in high schools also who study German, and yeah, they're good in German. And we also have, of course, translations. So I read a little bit in German, and there will be a Ukrainian translation. My book, quite autobiographical book, which in German has the title Mehr, More of Sea, has been now translated into Ukraine and came out in Chernivtsi in publishing house, 21st century. So this time I'm particularly pleased that I have a Ukrainian book, and which I can recommend to my readers.
What can you tell us about the current historical moment that Ukraine is in? Because it's in quite a difficult place, obviously, with the conflict in the East, and currently trying to make this step closer to Europe and the European Union. Do you feel like things like this festival in Chernivtsi are steps towards that road, and do you think Ukraine will get there eventually?
Well, I can only hope it, because we don't know how things will evolve. I can only hope it, and I think that Chernivtsi is, let's say, the festival. Let's talk about the festival, because that I'm sure this festival, we experience it, all of us experience this open-minded spirit of the festival. So, of course, they are cosmopolitan, they are open to Europe, and that's why I hope that in general, at least the majority of the Ukrainian intelligentsia, I hope, will more or less choose a European path. But it's not really sure, because we don't know. Of course, there are right-wing parties in Ukraine. They exist, and as long as Maidan was taking place, there was a euphoric situation, and it seemed that most of the nation was united, but now it's much more difficult. And I really hope that they find their own path and their identity, because they want, in fact, to go their way and to be much more independent from, especially Russia. Yeah.
I was wondering, we've spoken to several guests here during the festival, but you were actually the first female writer that I've had a chance to speak with. And one other poet I was speaking to, we talked about how, because at the moment a lot of Ukrainian men are at the front, and we wondered if that meant that women in Ukraine now had something, perhaps we could call it an opportunity, or this is a moment for them where they have to step up now and have more responsibility. I just wonder, from the female poets, I know here at the festival there has been some female poets, one in particular who wrote about how her husband has gone to the front in East Ukraine. And I was just wondering, from your point of view, have you seen anything to suggest that now in Ukraine this is a particular moment for women to step forward?
I believe it's a very critical moment, and I hope the war will not renew again. I mean, it's sort of, there is some kind of silence now, but I'm not sure that's definite. So we'll see. All this is difficult to predict. But I also hope that Ukraine gets at least moral support from, you know, Western Europe.
And so, what is our task then? Is to try to combat this information war. Do we need more voices? Do we need to try to get the voices of the Ukrainian people out in Europe more, to try to tell the other side of the story?
Yeah, absolutely. And we do get informations, of course. For example, Germans are very active too. I'm working for, I have very good connections to one of the main publishing houses in Germany, which is called Surkamp Verlag in Berlin. They have already published several books in the couple of in the last years, and including this year, about Ukraine, and they give you incredible good information, because the people who write for these anthologies, etc., they are mainly Ukrainians, and but different voices, but still very, very well-informed people. And if you read such a book or several books, you get a clear picture of what's going on, I would say. So there are enough books. If you want, you can get all the information if you want. But people often don't read these books, but they look at Twitter and all sort of, and share strange opinions. So I don't even know if I'm really optimistic. I am not truly optimistic.
Are we safe to say that your presence here in Chernivtsi, that is an expression of your moral support for the country, and that you don't want to see Ukraine go down that road? I
don't want to see this country go down, no. I'm interested in this country. I have friends. I will soon go to Odessa in early October. There will be a festival, also a literary festival, which will take place for the first time. International festival, by the way, with very interesting participants, and I'm being invited there, and I'm very happy to go there because I've never been to Odessa. So of course I'm interested. But I was in Russia equally. I was this year in Russia in May because my book, the same book, came out in Russia too. And I'm not absolutely partial in the sense that I don't want to go to Russia anymore, not at all, but I just hope that the conflict will be resolved in a way, because that's not possible to live this situation any longer, and it's not good for neither part, I would say. You don't have a win-win situation, you have only a lose-lose situation on both sides, so that's what I'm hoping. And I do support all people who think in an open way, because that's what counts. I have seen here ads and in Chernivtsi from Svoboda Party, 4 in a row. Well, I'm not a friend of this party, of course. I don't hope that they will become much stronger, you know. So there are many positions in this country too, so we have to hope that those people will win who are open and not following an ultra-nationalistic course, because that's a real problem too.
Ilma Rakusa, many thanks for coming to speak with us.
Thank you.